Yeah, hi folks, this is Casey Filler. And I just been watching many NARC videos over the last 3 years. And I just wanted to kind of share some stuff. I mean, I have to be very thankful for all the folks who put narcissistic survivor videos and videos about codependency, and all these videos surrounding this one subject. Regular folks who actually experienced the situation. I'm very thankful for all of you folks. And I just was like, I was inspired. I wasn't really thinking about doing this. I mean, it had crossed my mind. There's so many good videos that I said, well, you know what? They cover all the bases on narcissism. So I was inspired to do this yesterday. I was talking with some friends. One of them who was actually involved in, like, what would you call it? The dismantling of my former life by a narcissist, the woman I was married to. So I wanted to put together this little video, and I'm calling it NARC Trix, because it's these little tricks she used to play on me. So, narcissism to me is synonymous to cruelty. You might just call it cruel tricks, cruel little NARC tricks, or something like that. But I just wanted to go through some of these. Sometimes people don't really go through like the little nitty gritties. I think it could help new people to understand, to maybe be able to see that it's happening to them. If it is happening to them, they'll be possibly able to catch on sooner than I did. I finally caught on, but it was like way too late. Way past it. She already should have been able to get all my stuff. And not only that, but the amount of abuse that she heaped on me in 3.5 years was really rough. Very distressing even now to think about it. And a year or two before, I was just super angry, and I'd hear people tell their stories. They'd be all nonchalant, and I would just get upset. Want to go grab their narc by the throat. So anyway, kind of over that. I've got to do a lot of the things that I maybe never would have done. A lot of the dreams that I had in prior times, which is really super cool. So I have this little list here, so I'll get to it. NARC tricks. So first what she did was she hooked me with sex. I was single. She was not. I should have known. I did know better. I knew better. Just that she was really good. She was a master of seduction. And she's really pretty on top of it, which makes it ultra more dangerous and more effective. So she hooked me with sex like early. And then she'd put me in these catch-22s all throughout our relationship. After the first 6 months or so, they were perfect. They were beautiful. I was like, wow. You know, and then after that, she was so become more and more difficult, and I actually tried to send her back to her husband, or her ex-husband, a couple times. Of course, did you ever try to tell a narcissist anything? No. And would have it helped? No. That was that guy's lucky time. He didn't know it at the time. No one knew it at the time. But he was actually able to escape from narcissistic abuse at that time. But as soon as she was done with him, we were together already, she started in on me. It's like she turned the machine gun on me. I was like, wow, that's really interesting. I mean, it was something, you know. She'd put me in these unsurvivable situations, these catch-22s. That was her little game. She liked it. It was fun for her, but you couldn't tell. I mean, I'm just looking back at it now. I'm looking back, like 3.5, 4.5 years now for some of the stuff, and it was fun. And she had end game. She was looking at the end game, the long game, the goals that she wanted to achieve. She took all my assets, all my cash flow. My assets were like more in cash flow versus owned property. But the cash flow is actually much better than owned property, in my opinion. And my cash flow devices, I give them to her. So she figured out how to get them from me, and then as soon as she got all her cash flow, she kicked me to the curb. How did she do that? Well, she just made it impossible for me to live with the family. She had 2 children from her previous husband. I had a special needs person, adult foster person. So, anyway, I want to show you that I like the detailed things. People sometimes, they need to hear these. So in case you are being abused, and you're used to being abused, like I was, my family is very narcissistic. My mother is like really difficult narcissist and still is to this day, and she's quite old now. But anyway, my ex-wife now kicked me many times, punched me many times, bit me several times, and left. Not she just didn't bite me a little. I mean, she left humongous purple bruises, black bruises, and you can see actually. Even days after it happened, you could see these bite marks, these tooth marks on my skin. So it wasn't like a little play bite, like a hickey or anything. It was like a hickey you'd expect to get from a mad horse. I've gotten those, and they're very similar to what my ex-wife used to do to me. Anyway, she chased me with knives about 7 times, at least 7 times. She would pass out sometimes. She would get really, really upset and pass out. Now I look back on it, I think it was just a game. I think she passed out on purpose. It was part of her play, her Hollywood play, her life play. So I thought it was terrible at the time. She was really suffering some kind of childhood abuse or something like that. Maybe some possibility that partly, but I really think that she just enjoyed it, making people upset. The kids would just be just like distressed, and she would be like passed out, jerking, but there was no. She would wake up later and act like nothing happened, and I believe it was part of her play, her little trick she was playing. She used to lie. She stole. She told me she stole before we got married, and I should have had a clue. You know, you would think that. I mean, now it would be a giant clue to me if I think someone's going to steal or has the capability of stealing even the smallest thing. I don't want anything to do with them. Because if you'll steal something small, you'll steal something big. And and one other very interesting thing that she used to do is she used to demand that I believe things that she said. She'd say something just bizarre with no background, like no proof, no truth, and she would demand that I would believe it and accept it as fact just because it came out of her mouth. And also that she did that is really super, still makes me think, makes me wonder about it now and again, is that she had several different voices that she could change. Just like clothes, you know. She had 3 voices. 3 totally different voices that she could use. And she used to throw glass things. She loved to break dishes, cups. She loved to break anything glass because it, boom, it was dramatic. She loved drama. Oh, she thrived on drama. She would do that every week and a half, 2 weeks. She'd flip. She was a flipper too. She had flipped in a lot of ways. She had a way of she'd be super cruel to me, just terrorizing me with her toxic questions and her accusatory questions, and be accusing me of cheating, of lying, of stealing, accusing me of flirting. And someone would call on the phone, and she would she'd pick up the phone, and in that instant she was the beautiful woman that everybody else thought she was. She had the nicest voice, sweet, oh hello, well I am so glad you called, I have been thinking about you, what's going on? And then an instant before that, she was just terrorizing me. She'd hang up the phone after the conversation and go right back to the same evil things that she was doing to me. And also another way she would flip is she's a blame flip. She would do something evil. She would do something cruel. Do something wrong, and I'd say, "Hey, Aaron, what's with this? You can't steal. You can't just lie like this. You can't just say something that's not true." Oh. And she would flip it. Well, she would make it look like I made her do it. Well, you made me do it. Well, you shouldn't have put me in that situation. And I didn't have anything to do with anything about the situation. Maybe I just observed it, which was mostly the case. I would just say, hey, you can't pay for 1 bag of ice and take 2. She's kind of handy at that. Anyway, so let me see. We got she made it really difficult for me to sleep. We had a little twin bed, and she didn't. I wanted to get a bigger bed. She'd always find a reason why we couldn't get a bigger bed, and she always slept right close to the wall. So she had a little cozy nest, warm little cozy nest to sleep in, and I got to perch on the outside edge on my side, and it was very uncomfortable. I rarely got a good night's sleep. Plus, I had to put wood in the stove and during the nighttime and let the dogs out. And she made sure that she was like unavailable because she's on the inside of the cozy little warm bed where she gets a whole night's great sleep. As great a sleep as she could get. She never really got very good sleep, probably because she was concerned and nervous that some of her evil would catch up with her one day. Or something, I don't know. But that's one thing. Another thing she did, and she shut down our income sources. Like, not for herself, she shut them down for me. We had a trail ride business. We used to take people for horse rides. She shut that baby down completely. Why? Because as soon as I left, she opened them back up again. Wasn't she genius? I mean, in her own, like an evil genius. So she would come just a few minutes before a trail ride would start. I'd have one scheduled to give a trail ride. She'd come and steal all the stuff, put it in her car, and run down the road. So the people would come, there's no saddles there. And finally I just shut it down. I just said, hey, we don't qualify for this kind of business. We can't even have saddles for our horses. So I shut it down. And then she refused to sell any of the horses. Now I should have got a clue, but I still didn't have a clue. I still didn't understand. I was still really confused about a lot of the things going on, because that's part of their game. They keep you confused just so you don't think that your spouse is trying to shut your business down. I mean, that's why would your spouse want to shut your business down? Oh, because she's going to get rid of you, and she wants all those components to put them back together and just start cash flow coming in again. That's what happened to me. And also she also did that with my foster care person who I'd had for over 8 years, and then she made it so difficult that I couldn't really do his foster care anymore. So I said, okay, well, why don't you do it? You know how to do everything. So I did. I just gave that to her, and then as soon as she got cash flow, she was like evil on steroids. She turned so wicked. We never had a nice day after that. Not even a nice hour, not even a nice minute. Because why? She already had the cash flow. She already had a new boyfriend. And she was getting rid of me. But she was keeping all my stuff because she had manipulated me into these situations so that I gave it to her. She made it impossible for me to do it. So what was I going to do? I still loved her. If I knew all this stuff now that I know now then, I would just call the cops on her when she had her rage. First time, and then she'd probably moved away and left me alone. But anyway, I actually did call the cops on her later on after I left. She was flying into rages because she wanted me to sign the divorce. And I didn't want to sign it, and I didn't sign it for a long time, but finally she would call me like 30, 40 times a day and text me it was endless to curse and scream at me. And finally I said, okay. Bring me the paper, I'll sign it over. Of course, I was really struggling. I was really struggling at that time. I was so crazy. I was living in my truck. I had $60 in my truck and an old truck when I left, a 96 Dodge. And a bunch of debt. I got all the debt paid off except for $5,000, which I'll have that paid off soon. But yeah, I was living in my truck at the time, and I was starting my own business. I had a ranch support business. And she called me like never ending, terrorizing me even more. And finally she resorted to like her favorite one when she really wanted something. Oh, she's going to kill herself. Oh, I'm feeling suicidal. We have to get this papers done. We've got to get done. They're making me crazy. And finally I signed it, and I don't even think I read it, but I know she got everything in there because I tried to go back and get some horses later. I tried to take her to small claims court and get some horses, but I don't remember them, the prices and everything in the divorce, but the judge said that she paid $6 for all the horses. Anyway, the judge didn't want to help me. He didn't give a damn. He's this piece of junk. He just wanted to go for lunch. He was hungry. He wanted to get through this. I think she called him beforehand or something. She got to go into the courtroom earlier than me, like I was gonna hurt her or something. You know, like she was like that. She would hurt you. She would hurt me. Punch, kick, bite. Terrorize me. Crazy. And then she would act like she was the victim. Like I was going to hurt her and she needed special protection from the courts, you know. Anyway, let me tell you something. I have a good life now. I have a really good life now. And I just want to share these things with you in case this stuff's happening to you. I want to say that if a bunch of this stuff's happening to you and you are like thinking that you're with a narcissist, you know, you might keep studying it until you're really sure, you know, you're pretty sure, and then you got to find a way out. I believe a narcissist can get healed, but they have to want to get healed. And most of them are so arrogant they can't possibly think how they could possibly need to get healed of anything or change in any way. So chances are good, if you want to live, you gotta find a way away from that narcissist. Now, if I had to do it over again, I'd make sure she didn't get all my stuff, all my cash flow, you know. Anyway, God bless you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.